This is my absolute favorite time of the year as I nearly leap out of bed each morning to see if anything has sprouted yet. The birds start singing again and the grass turns a little bit greener each day. Another unique part about this time of year is this chaotic push and pull dance the wind does as the warm winds try to fight off the cooler winds. Some days it wins and we're left with 60 degrees and sunshine, while other days the cold prevails. Winter is finally coming to a close and we are definitely feeling the spring fever. And with markets coming up soon, we decided to get a jump on starting some cold hardy vegetables in our greenhouse.
This is our little greenhouse. All in all, we spent about $150 maybe on it. What we did was use these cattle panels. We have 4 of them. They were already on the property. We made a border all the way around the outside and built a box out of 1x6s. They're 16 feet long and about 9 feet wide, I believe. We staked those with rebar. Fastened the rebar to the boards, and then we bent our cattle panels over. We found a window at the dump, and we used that back here so we can get some airflow. All the 2x4s we salvaged. And then I bought the lumber for these tray tables. We salvaged a bunch of pallets for the doors and framing and the legs of the tables. For water, we have mist irrigation that we put in. We ordered it off of Amazon. We have a 12-volt battery that we plug in to a solar panel, and it keeps it trickle charged. We have a water pump that we salvaged off of a sprayer. We use it to run a water hose. We split off here at the Y, and we can run our drip irrigation off of that as well.
All right, so the way that we water the greenhouse is we've got these 2 275-gallon tanks. We put one on the back of a truck, take it down the road to a spring, and we use this PVC pipe to fill it from the spring. It goes right into the top. And then we bring it back here and we transfer the water from the one on the truck down to this one that stays stationary all year long. This is enough water to keep the greenhouse fully watered all season long. It was a little rough trying to use this to water the garden as well last year, so we're reevaluating that. We're gonna have something different set up for the garden, but we'll probably keep this same situation going for the greenhouse. I hope the spring is doing wonderful things for your soul like it is mine. I find myself out in the greenhouse just about every morning now, just looking around, checking on the seedlings, thinking about new ideas, and just getting so creative about this upcoming season. And I'm really excited. I'm no expert at gardening in any way. This is only my 2nd year of truly gardening out in a real garden. I've only ever done potted plants and stuff like that prior, but I wanted to pass on some knowledge from what I have learned, and yeah, so basically we start our seeds with these mixed paper cardboard egg cartons, and they're really great because they're eco-friendly. You're not using plastic in any way, and also when they get pretty moist, especially after you've been taking care of your seedlings for a few weeks. You can pretty much just rip out each little section. And last year I just planted a lot of my plants straight in the ground in this little cardboard thing, and it worked out great. The roots just kind of start to grow right through, and the way I look at it, this gets broken down and used up by the plant anyway. So yeah, that worked really well. And we just pick them up from a friend of mine. She owns a restaurant in town and she sells a lot of eggs. So we go and grab those from her when we can, and it's great, totally free. Also, I find myself a little overwhelmed by the amount of seeds that I have obtained over the last 2 years, but that's okay. I guess that's a good problem to have. So I used to do my seeds by alphabetical order, but I've kind of done a mix now where I've done them alphabetically, but in each section. So I've got each month, and then behind it is the seeds that need to be done in that time. And of course you can always like mix and match and do whatever you want, but this is just helpful to me to make sure that I'm getting everything done that I need to be. So I've got April, and in April I can start to sow outdoors. So coming up soon, I'm gonna start doing radishes in the ground and beets and yeah, all kinds of stuff.
So I think the reason why we were able to get started so early this year was we had a really bad freeze this past weekend. So I took each of these seedling trays and stacked them on top of each other and just stored them in this bin down here, and took it inside with me for the duration of that really cold weather. And when I pulled them back out, they were trying to pop through the soil. So that goes to show you most seedlings do not need light at first to sprout. What they really need is warmth. So if you're able to give your seeds that perfect temperature range, then you should see life within a couple days. Another thing to be noted is that when seedlings are this small, they really cannot tolerate drying out, so you have to keep them pretty moist at all times. Not too hot, because they won't like that either. And then these are beets, so I'm not really worried about thinning them out just yet, but when you have seedlings that are growing right next to each other, you're going to want to thin them out, because what's going to happen is they're going to start to compete with each other and you're just going to miss out on growth.
Put it at 3 feet. We laid down these tarps over a year ago, and what our goal was is to kill all of the dormant weed seeds. They'll actually sprout because of the heat from the tarp, and when they come up there's no oxygen for them to live, so they die. And that happens over and over and over, and the longer you leave it, the more dormant seeds you'll kill. So this year what we're going to do is pull back the tarps, and we're going to put our rows in. We've got 3-foot wide rows and 18-inch walkways. And we've run the broad fork through here to break up the soil. The dirt that we have here is full of clay, and it's pretty hard. So we run the broad fork through here to help open it up. The tarps allowed the soil to stay really moist for the entire time we had it on there, which leaves perfect conditions for the worms and other decomposers to help break this soil up and make it soft. The wind gets pretty bad up here, and it'll actually blow these tarps all over the place. It's a constant battle. So we picked up these big tires to help weigh it down. Right around February, when the warm air starts moving in, it blows all these tarps up into the air, wraps them around our barbed wire fences, and we have to constantly chase them down and lay them back out. Using these large silage tarps is a great alternative to tilling, but it's something to consider, the wind and the constant battle you have to put up with.